Man acquitted by a U.S. jury after shooting YouTube prankster Tanner Cook. And for you guys that don't know the situation, he basically was inside of the mall and he was harassing this guy. But before now, we did not have any video evidence of this. All we could go off of was our imagination, and a lot of people hopped on that, and so they were saying like, well, YouTube pranksters are getting exactly what they deserve, because you don't know what somebody else is going through that day, and so it could be one of the worst days in their lives, and the next thing they know is somebody's coming out of the blue and harassing them. And so a lot of us had no idea what Tanner Cook did, but now we have that video evidence. I'm going to show you guys that, and then we're going to continue to talk about this situation.
What's that?
Hey, Dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
No.
Hey, Dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Get out of my face and call cops on me. Stop.
Hey, Dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Stop.
Now, at first, I thought I was going to see something crazy because my imagination was running. These YouTube pranksters are getting out of control, and so it was no telling what we were going to see once the official video released. However, this does not seem like something that I could justify shooting somebody over. However, I want to put myself in the shoes of the guy who did the shooting. Life and death can end and begin in a split second. So he had to make a split second decision to defend himself in this situation, and he clearly did that. So to anybody who is defending the guy who did the shooting, I don't blame you at all. I will say this as well. The YouTube prankster put this on himself. And like I always say on this YouTube channel, just because you do something to somebody else, that does not mean you're going to get an equal reaction. But I do hate it for the guy who did the shooting, because as we're going to find out in a second, everything is not looking so good for him.
Alan Coley not guilty of aggravated malicious wounding and the use of firearm for aggravated malicious wounding. What they did find him guilty for is the unlawful discharge of a firearm in a dwelling. As you might remember, in early April, there was that shooting inside Dulles Center Mall. We watched the video as Tanner Cook approached the defendant, Alan Coley, as he was picking up food for DoorDash. And there was that interaction where you heard Coley telling him to stop before kind of turning his body, pulling out his gun and shooting him in the stomach area. And he claims self-defense. Obviously, this was not the verdict Tanner Cook and his mother were hoping for, but we did catch up with them.
And so before we get to what they said after the verdict went down, I want to make this clear as well. The man is facing up to 10 years in prison for the charge that he was convicted on. And so that's why I hate it for him. But it is what it is. He got off on the other two charges, so I guess that's a win. But at the same time, who wants to do any type of time in jail? And so the prankster gets off on this, and you would think that he begins to learn his lesson because he got shot in the stomach and he's going to change all of his ways. But you know how the story goes, man. That's too good to be true. Let's see exactly what goes on after this hearing.
At the end of the day, you know, we respect what the jury says, and my family and I are just grateful and thankful that I have my son here, and nothing else matters right now, and that's it. I want to thank the prosecutors, the Commonwealth prosecutors, Miss Jones and Eden Holmes. They did an outstanding job presenting this case, and we couldn't have had it any better. And regardless of the outcome, you know, the jury's the jury, and we totally respect how our law plays out. And
now, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, bruh, your mom is doing a fantastic job of just keeping it simple, keeping it cordial, and then just look at this guy.
this was the outcome today, and we respect that.
Yeah, Tanner,
Yeah.
let's go. Just real quick, Tanner, you said you wanted to, what's your message to the people who might have a question about your content itself?
I don't know. Guess we'll just have to keep watching.
So you'll continue to make videos?
Yeah, probably. We'll see, you know?
How disappointed are you about this?
I really don't care. I mean, it is what it is. It's God's plan at the end of the day, so.
So, as you know how the story ends, the guy learns nothing, and he actually takes a small win. He's alive, and his content is going to semi-thrive, but at some point in time, he's going to do something that is going to get him seriously hurt. And so hopefully he dials back on the content that he is trying to do, but I highly doubt it, because now with this situation, people are going to tune in. There is a hive or some type of cult that loves this type of content, and they're going to galvanize behind him and try to push him to new heights in order to see how high can he possibly take this content. And so we're going to see exactly what is going to end at some point in time. But you know how this YouTube prankster thing goes. Usually they end up getting themselves killed or locked up, and I don't advocate that or try to push that on anybody. But when you are out there actively seeking to get the next best video and you're trying to one up yourself, it is going to happen at some point in time. But hopefully he does learn to be a little bit more strategic with these pranks and not just come off as some douche. I don't even use that word, but that's the best word I could come up with right then. Anyway, so let me know what you guys think about this situation down below, and I'll see you in the next video.